Welcome everyone to Rainy Nights, this segment of my YouTube channel where I interview other motor vloggers and motorcycle personalities. If you haven't been here before, I am Rainy Rider. I ride a 2019 BMW Grand America and a 2021 Harley Sportster. Feel free to give the channel a like and a subscribe. Tonight we have Father Bobber. Would you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Father Bobber and I love you.
I love you too.
Oh, great. Fantastic.
So, where are you from and what do you ride?
I am from, it's just south of Cincinnati. You know where I'm at. In a town called Florence. It's about 10-15 minutes south of Cincinnati, Ohio. And I've been here pretty much all my life. And I ride, there she is, the 2012 Victory Cross Country.
Gorgeous bike. So you were just riding another bike. You just got rid of it. Is that correct? Did you still have this Scout or did you get rid of it?
There
Still
it is.
there. Right on.
Mm-hmm. So Stephanie rides that one now. I was selling the bike, and that's how me and Stephanie met. Is at bike night, she fell in love with my bike and ran up to me, and she's like, "I wanted one of these since I started riding 6 years ago." I'm like,
Guess what?
"Do you know how to ride?" She's like, "Yeah, I know how to ride." I'm like, "Keys are in it, man. Take it around the lot."
Nice.
So now she's actually been able to buy it from me because I had it on Marketplace and stuff, and then she's like, "Well, I really want it." I'm like, "I really wish I could just give it to you, but I can't." But you can buy it from me. So she did at a pretty good discount.
I bet.
She pays in other ways.
Hey, no judgment. No judgment.
Hugs and kisses, man.
All right. So, anybody has any questions in the comments? Just go ahead and either write his name or mine. We're both watching our chat, and that way it'll illuminate and then ask your question, and we'll be able to see it. Guys, feel free to talk about whatever you want to in the chat. But just when you put our name first, it highlights it. That way we'll know that you're talking to us directly, and we'll look up and see it. So, how long have you been riding?
That's a difficult question, but round about 17 years minus about a 6-year period where I didn't. So I started with dirt bikes and racing hare scrambles and trail riding. I never got into the tracks. I hate the tracks, but I was a motocross kid. And then I got into road bikes because when my dad would go to work, I would steal his bike when I was about 15 or 16 and take off for the day. So that's about 17 years.
Right on. Let's see who we got in the chat tonight. So we obviously have My Pillion. She's always here for me. Bill the Harley guy is here.
Stephanie's in here too. She said, "Hey, I pay with money."
Justin's here. Loose Juice. Casey's in tonight. Skittles is here. Skittle dipped in. I'm going to be doing Skittles and Jack tomorrow night, so if you guys want to come back for that. Anthony Sky's Limit 73 is in. And, yep, Stephanie's here. So, yep, make sure you give us some questions here. Don't make it boring. I know that everybody gets tired of me asking the same questions, even though everybody answers them differently. We want to hear from you guys, too, so spit it out. All right, so are you a fair weather rider or a rough rider?
It's just if I feel like riding. I don't go out in the rain and snow on purpose. It just happens. If you're out and it starts snowing and raining, what can you do? You just keep pushing. But I just ride. If I feel like riding, I just go. My coldest ride was about 100 miles, and the high for that day was 22 degrees, and that was on the Scout, so that was a cold day.
Okay. Colleen says Jack's in the audience, too. Bueller, he's here.
Hi, Jack and Colleen.
All right, so who inspires you to ride?
My bike, me, or my kids because they stress me out. But no, I don't know. It's not really an inspiration thing. It's just, I just go, I guess. Okay. And I see my bike and I say, I want to be on you. So I get on you.
Gotcha. I've got it. All right. Would you rather a solo ride or a group ride?
Solo, for sure.
Solo.
I don't mind group riding, but it's a lot easier when I'm by myself, and because especially if I'm vlogging, or if I'm going on a scenic ride and I want to stop to take pictures, or I like being on my own time.
Right on. And that's pretty much the consensus. I think everybody likes to just sometimes. Most people, I think, just like to get out and ride by themselves. It's nice sometimes to get out with your friends and go somewhere and have a good time. But yeah, sometimes you just need that getaway, I think.
Yeah, me and Stephanie have this argument all the time. She says, "But you're always out with your friends." I'm like, "Yeah, if they ask me to go ride, I'll go ride with them. But usually, I will just go. If they say no, then I'm gone anyway. So whatever."
Right on. All right, so there's different kinds of moto meetups. There's the meetups that happen every sporadically, and they'll advertise them when you go. And then there's ones that you know are going to happen every year. Among the ones that happen every year or twice a year, what is your favorite moto meetup to go to?
I really don't go to any. My first one was the 5 Dirty Bikers meetup, and that was pretty sporadic. I didn't even know they existed and I just happened to go, and Weems was there, and it was pretty.
Uh-oh. So we're obviously having some technical difficulty. Please stand by. Let's see if he comes back. This is a good time for you guys in the audience to throw some questions in. Sometimes the garage is not the best place to broadcast from. It doesn't have a very good signal. Colleen. All right, so we're sitting tight here. This is Rainy Nights. Welcome to it, where things happen and they're totally out of our control. So, Aaron just popped in. All right, hey, welcome back.
So we're sitting tight here.
Well, I have a Wi-Fi extender out here, so it's supposed to be really good.
Okay, guess what? All right, we'll just keep plugging it then. So we were on favorite moto meetups.
Yeah.
All right, hey, welcome back.
Oh, I need to mute this. Hold on. There.
A little bit of a lag there. Yep.
I'm a mess. Yeah, I put a Wi-Fi extender out here last week. It should be okay, but
okay, it's coming back now. So you were talking about the 5 Dirty Bikers meetup.
Is that when it cut out? Man, I just kept going too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I went to the 5 Dirty Bikers meetup in Louisville 2 years ago, and I didn't know they existed or anything. My buddy was just like, "This is a thing that's going on. If you want to go." So I mean, that was, and it was my son's birthday, and Jared Weems was there, and he had 2 of his choppers with him, and he said, "If I can get a picture of you sitting on that chopper, I'll give you a T-shirt for your birthday." And of course, he's like, "How will y'all sit on this chopper? It's a museum piece."
Yeah.
So I have a picture of him on the whatever, it's the red chopper that he just gave away, I think. And Weems sitting there just cheesing, taking a picture of him, and then he got a free Weems T-shirt.
I think
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I get them confused. One of them's the doggone hot dog, and the other one's Hollywood Run. I think the red one was Hollywood Run.
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, Jack would know. Jack's over there a lot, but I'm pretty sure.
And then the camp out at the quarry was planned, and we bought tickets for it, and that was a blast. But those are really the only 2 I've gone to, except for we do bike night. There's 3 weeks out of the month that I can go, so we try to make bike night 3 out of 4 weeks of every month that it's going on. So that's our big one.
Okay, but there's another place you go, and I've gone with you. There's just a cool place to go and ride to. Can you tell us about that place?
So that's Rabbit Hash. There's a lot of questions. Let me get to it in a minute. Rabbit Hash is just an old river town. They used to bring the barges in and the logs, and they set up these little tiny towns along the river for the barges and stuff to stop at. And it's just an old general store. It's got a bit more now. They have a little winery, and then they have a barbecue joint, which you tried. They have a barn with barn dances, and what else do they have? They have a stained glass place, but it's about 20 miles out in the middle of the woods, as you recall, on a single lane back road on the Ohio River. And the general store actually burnt down in 2016, and they rebuilt it with mostly original pieces in wood. And I think it was 1833 it was founded. I can't remember the exact date. But it's just a fun place for all the local bikers to get to, and people actually come from pretty far away to get there. So on any given Saturday during the summer, there'll be 400 bikes there lined up.
Yeah, and it was a very cool place to go. We went with there was hardly anybody there, and it was just gorgeous.
Oh yeah,
and I got to eat bacon.
Yeah, so we're lucky he was there because that was obviously after hours, and I'm pretty sure I talked to him the day before. He said he was making bacon. I said, let him try some of that bacon.
Yeah, it was absolutely awesome. So, what is the stupidest thing you have ever done on a motorcycle?
I've done a lot of stupid things on a motorcycle, man. Get a DUI on a dirt bike. If you watch the channel for a while, that video is on there. Not me getting the DUI, just telling the story. But other than that, I try to play it really safe. I try not to get stupid, but getting a DUI on my dirt bike is definitely the stupidest thing I've done on a motorcycle.
How do you get a DUI on a dirt bike?
Well, you're 17 and you really want White Castle at 1 a.m. and the dirt bikes are in the back of the truck. Put it together, man.
I guess that'll do it.
That'll do it.
All right, so go ahead.
Yeah, so how you get the DUI is actually pulling over when you got woods all around you to take off to and you know how to get to your house from those woods. But you're just a good citizen and pull over and hope for the best.
If you're a good citizen, yeah, sometimes it bites you in the butt, but you can sleep at night.
That was a long time ago. I think it would have gone differently now.
Different kind of citizen now.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is the scariest moment you've ever had on a motorcycle?
It actually just happened like a month ago. Not even. It's just been a few weeks ago. So I was at a 4-way intersection, and it's a 4-lane highway coming off of another 4-lane and then a 2-lane. So it's really busy. I was making a left into that 4-way, and then there's this side road that comes out. And it's this old lady with the handicap tags and the puffy poodle hair, you know the type. She pulls out in front of me, so I just get over to the left, and she gets over to the left. So we're pretty much nose to tail here at this point. So I get over to the left again, and she gets over in the turning lane, and I do not know how. I didn't knock my saddlebag off, but I could feel her bumper on my ankle as I went past at about 50 miles an hour. I felt it barely scrape my pants, and I looked back, I'm like, is my saddlebag gone or my boots gone? Like, what the hell just happened? So that's scariest, but I mean, obviously, if you go down, that's the most heart-wrenching moment without actually going down. But that scared the shit out of me. And then a mile down the road, some teenager pulls out in front of me, and I lock it up and slide sideways. So just a nice combo, a 1-2.
So you just came back from California where you were riding. How was it there? Because that's like, I've heard nightmares about riding in California. So
no, it was amazing. I mean, it sucked because of all the traffic, but once I got to start lane splitting, it was the coolest thing I've ever done because you could just keep going. And the weather it got cold, but the scenery made up for it. But once you start lane splitting, it's just, you don't care about the traffic. You're nervous about it, but you're not stuck in traffic. You're moving through it. So okay. Stephanie was pretty nervous about that. I finally got her to do some lane splitting, but I like my shirt too, G-Mall.
Yeah, ask him where he got that shirt.
Ask him. Ask me. No, California was awesome. We found, because we wanted to just do the PCA because we only had 2 days of riding. One day got totally cut short because we had a layover and a lot of problems picking up the bikes we rented. So our second day, our goal was to ride as far north on the PCH as we could and still make it back in time to return the bikes that night. And we sat in traffic for like 4 hours. So these bicyclists said, we just came off the mountain. Why don't you guys go up there? Shoot, I'm watching my hands here so I don't move them too much. Why don't you guys shoot up the mountain that we just came down? I'm like, we could try it. And it was the most gorgeous ride I've ever been on. I talk about my Colorado trip all the time. And Stephanie's like, man, I really wish I could just been out there with you because we were together at that time too. And this was pretty spot on to how that was. It didn't last as long, but you're riding through the valleys and you got 14,000 foot mountains and rivers, and it was pretty phenomenal. And you just smell the pine the whole way.
Right on. Okay, so I think it was Bill was asking, what's your favorite bike to ride?
Mine. Well, I haven't.
We'll feed on that question later.
Well, I mean, again with California, when I was looking at rentals, I searched for hours on a bike to ride, and I was like looking at Dynas. I'm like, that might be cool, or a Road Glide, and then I came across a Black Victory cross country. I'm like, that's the one. So I rented the exact same bike that I own.
You can't go wrong there. If you know it works, man, stick with it.
If you ride one, you understand.
And Gma is asking about the hat also.
Yeah, I got that it's like 2 weeks ago we went up there just because Steph needed a new helmet. She ended up getting an LS2, but we went to Iron Pony. We stopped at Throttle Company first. Saw Nicole and the gang.
So Nicole is, for Gmon, Nicole is the same girl that I interviewed last weekend that owns the Triumph and Vintage Motorcycle shop up in Ohio.
Yeah, cool chick.
Very cool chick.
Very funny.
Everyone's favorite dad friend, as she was calling it last weekend. Her friends call her to fix things in her house, in their house.
That's fair.
All right. What has been your favorite part of riding motorcycles?
This. I mean, for the first, I didn't start doing this till 2.5 years ago. I was just always by myself or not really where to go or what to do. The community that vlogging or, I mean, even just Instagram when I'm not vlogging. I mean, so many people just make so many connections, and this has definitely been the best part of that, other than, you know, the freedom you get while riding. But I've been doing that for 17 years. This community is fantastic. It's not the leather daddies and the bikers that you're used to when you're just out by yourself.
Yeah, I totally agree.
This opens up a whole new world.
Totally agree. And I've ridden with, I've ridden the Honda Hoot. I've been in Go-Wing groups. I've rode in a Sabre Owners group that I was riding with outside of Little Rock. And somehow in the last few years, it's the best group of people I've ever met on motorcycles.
Oh yeah, the last couple of years, I wouldn't have had any of these experiences at all. I wouldn't have had the balls to go across the country by myself or go to camp out at the quarry and meet everybody that I've been talking to for a couple of years, or I wouldn't be here talking to everybody. It's a blast, honestly.
Yeah, COVID.
It inspires me to do a lot more and adventure a lot bigger.
I think COVID, among all the bad things that happened with COVID, I think COVID made people realize you got to live your life.
Yeah,
and life is precious and short, and you better do what you want to do because you're not going to be here forever.
Yeah, well, that's when I bought the Indian. I was on a Suzuki M50, and I really wasn't riding. I kind of inherited it from my dad, and I really wasn't riding it that much. It needed a lot of work, and COVID is when I bought the Indian. Right at the start of COVID, and I even had COVID, and I was trying to take pictures of the Indian in a tunnel, and a cop came up to me. He's like, "What are you doing, man?" I'm like, "I have COVID. You might want to back up." He's like, okay. "Take your pictures and move on, please." I'm like, all right, cool.
Best excuse ever.
Yeah. No, I did, because I sat in the house for a week and a half dying, and then I finally felt good enough. I'm like, I'm riding. I don't care if I have COVID. I have a full face helmet, and I'm by myself, so I'm out of here, man.
Yeah. And it did, even after I had COVID, the best days I had were getting out of the house and getting in the sun, and I felt so much better.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like, nobody's going to feel better just hanging around the house all the time. Even if you're well. I mean, yeah. So, flip side of that, what has been the most frustrating part of riding for you?
For me personally, other people. Trying to navigate idiots or trying to find time to ride really anymore is frustrating with kids and work and winter. Yeah, idiots and trying to find time to ride is very frustrating.
I got it. But you're like me though. You get to ride to work. So how's it been since it's been cold riding to work?
I've ridden to work, let's say 3 times this winter, because I wake up, if I'm on day shift, I wake up at 2:50 in the morning and ride in at 3 a.m. And that's not pleasant, especially because you can't just go to bed at 7 p.m. It doesn't work. I go to bed at like 11, wake up at 2:50, and I'm not feeling it at all when I wake up.
I gotcha.
So it's like, you got to get the heated gloves going. You got to layer up. And then when you get to work, you got to change out all that and then walk into work. And so that's more of a summer thing for me, but I'll still do it. Like Monday, I'm definitely riding to work when it's going to be 40 on my way in, but it's going to be 75 when I get out, and that's going to be worth it. That
would be worth it. Yeah. I can't, if I'm tired, I would rather be on the motorcycle because the motorcycle keeps me awake because I got about a 45-minute drive to work. So unless it's just so nasty that I can't ride, the car puts me to sleep, especially on days that you're working long, or if it's really early, or if it's dark when you're getting off. Like right now, I'm getting off at like midnight. So coming home at night in the car, it kills me, and I would rather be on that motorcycle.
If I'm on nights, it's way different because I have the motivation to get there. if I ride into work, it's great, and then I have to force myself to ride home. It's like, you're not getting a taxi home. You're riding this bike home.
Gotcha. So it is a new year. What are your plans for the new year? What kind of outings do you have planned? What kind of meetups? And are you going to be going to any of the Forgotten Angels meetups?
I can't make Forgotten Angels because kids. But we do have... So my big plan for this year is... what's the sketchiest bike you've ridden? Hold on, let me finish this. There's a lot of questions I need to get to. The biggest thing I have is for the channel, and I'm starting that at 7:30 tonight, is a big scavenger hunt I'm doing all summer long. You just have to watch a video and I'll explain it. But that's going to be all summer, all throughout the Midwest, probably from like the UP down to Louisiana. I'll explain that in the video at 7:30 if you want to tune in and watch it. And then early next month, April 7th through the 9th, I'll be in Nashville. You know about that. You better come see me.
I'm going to try.
And I'm going to be doing a scavenger hunt. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a scavenger hunt there too. I'm going to leave stuff there. And then April 22nd to May 2nd, we're riding. So I haven't told anybody about this one. We're riding down to New Orleans. Me and Steph are, and we're trying to plan that out, and we want to make it, a big riding trip. So do the Natchez Trace, and then all through Mississippi, and then New Orleans, and then maybe shoot over to Florida, or make that our own trip, because I don't think we're going to be able to do much else this summer. As far as trips, we're going to be riding a lot, but I think as far as trips and get-togethers, that's going to be it.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know the Natchez Trace was as long as it did. So when I go down 55, I cross the Natchez Trace, and then I'm going down 78, going to Florida, I cross the Natchez Trace. But I didn't know it went all the way up into eastern Tennessee. I didn't know it went that far.
It's 440-something miles. And if you didn't know, Meriwether Lewis is buried on the Natchez Trace. He's the one, that was one of his routes. So he died on that route, and they buried him where he died. Yeah. So we're going to visit that too.
The Adventure Rider, I'm going to call him by his new name. The Adventurous Rider is in the chat, and he has gone on that before with Deidre. Yep, he is not country. Well, he's on his crossover. So Carson's in the crowd. But yeah, he's rode that before, and I keep telling him I am waiting to get an adventure bike where I can start doing some stuff with him, because he rides some really cool stuff. He gets off on the back trails, the what are they called? The Trans-American trails. And it looks too fun, but I have not been on a dirt bike since I was probably 16. So I know there's going to be a learning curve there, but I want to get back on it so bad.
Yeah, I've been telling, every time I go to a dealership and they have adventure bikes, or the Pan America or the KTMs, or when we were just up at Throttle Company, they had the new ones that they're selling.
The Scrams.
You guys were, yeah. I sat on that, and I'm like, Stephanie said, if we weren't in the car and you didn't just buy a new truck, you'd be riding that home. I'm like, I still might.
So, okay, so we'll get to Jack's question first. So Jack is the king of sketchy motorcycles. I will throw that out there. Jack wants to know, what's the sketchiest motorcycle you've ever ridden?
The one I learned on, it was a Shadow 250. And it was, no, actually the one before that. So I learned how to ride on the road officially on a Shadow 250. Before that was, my dad had this friend. I don't even know who the friend was. He just left his bike in my dad's garage. And it was an old CB something. I don't remember. It's like a 70s or 80s model, something with the long seat. Kickstart. My dad said, if you can get it started, you can do whatever you want with it. So I charged the battery and it started right up. I'm like, all right, well, I'm leaving. He said, okay. And I shit you not, like I'm just riding down the road and I hear shit rattling and falling off the bike and the headlights just flickering. And I'm like, we're doing it. I don't care. And I rode that thing to school most of that year. The tires were flat. Everything was covered in cobwebs and rust. It was cool, though.
You will learn tomorrow about a sketchy motorcycle if you watch Jack and Colleen's interview, because that is hands down the sketchiest motorcycle I've ever seen. He's restoring an old Triumph. I think it's a 68. I think you can correct me, Jack. But it had
is that who on? That's who was on last week talking about it. So yeah, my dad actually. Well, okay. Let me separate my dad and my stepdad. My dad is the first dad here. Now we're talking about my stepdad. He built a 65 Triumph chopper, and it was an art piece, but he rode the shit out of it. But he had art installations and shows, and that thing was a show bike. It had the headlight was from like a 33 Ford or something. He had a locomotive oil dripper on it. He had a 1800s Japanese tattoo machine box as the battery box. That thing was the coolest thing I've ever seen, and he never let me ride it. I couldn't touch it. He said, "Man, you'll kill yourself on that." And then that bike is the reason he's retired now, is because he flipped it over a truck. I think he couldn't stop in time. Somebody slammed on their brakes, and he flipped over the truck and got a TBI and forced to retire. So he sold that thing. So Thanks for not letting me ride it, Dad.
So Jack, your 66 Triumph is not sketchy. It is an art piece.
There you go.
Yeah, Coder, that was the same one that was in Forgotten Angels last year. He's done a whole lot of work on it. I'm actually surprised. He's going to have it in the background tomorrow, and I've seen it on a couple of little videos since then. But it's looking really awesome now. I probably would not be scared to get tetanus sitting on it now, so I might ride it this year at the camp out if he brings it.
JD was in here. I just want to say I love you, JD. If you're still in here, he's like my biggest fan. I don't have fans, so to have one is pretty damn cool.
He just subscribed to me. I didn't know who he was, but I figured you had brought him in. So
yeah, he's
welcome
my
in.
number one fan. The artist previously known as Country Coder. What was I live on Instagram for? And nothing at random. Some kid named Aaron. I kind of like him. He's cute. So
I don't know. He's talking about sketchy. Talk about sketchy. I don't know. I may change my mind if he brings some more of that mead this year to the camp out.
I'm a mead kind of guy. I made my own mead a couple years ago, and I'm a mead kind of guy.
We have a meadery. We have a meadery an hour from here, so if you ever come down to visit, when Whiskey Chaser comes down, we're definitely going to take a ride. Him and Parker. But yeah, I love going to that meadery.
Yeah, you guys. I remember you guys talking about that. So there was a meadery. I did a solo trip out to Tail the Dragon and that whole area a couple years ago, and they had a meadery. I don't know if it's still there, but they were just opening this meadery, and I wanted to stop by, but I was like, no, I want a beer, a lot of them, not a mead. So I'm just going to keep on rolling. But that was right by whatever that big restaurant hotel thing is called, right on the river, as you come down the hill from the end of the Dragon. I don't know. I don't remember any of it.
I've never been out that way on a motorcycle yet. I've gone out that way. The sketchiest place I've ever ridden, not including where we went to Eureka Springs, was going down Sandstone Mountain in West Virginia on a motorcycle. And every time I went to hit the brakes, the bike started shaking because the bike did not want to stop. And I think the grade was probably 12 degrees. But I'm talking like 2 miles. It wasn't like Eureka Springs, you get some 12-degree grades, but they're like a quarter mile, a half mile. It seemed like it was like 3 miles, just straight down. And then into a curve. And when I went to hit the brakes finally started overheating, and it started shaking the bike. And I was like, well, I guess I'm on this one for the ride.
I'm going to have to try that. I want to try that one.
Not fun. Well, if you ever head down, we headed up 40, and we're going to Williamsburg. It's a great ride, don't get me wrong. But yeah, make sure you're fresh for that ride.
New brakes. So fresh brake pads, nice rotors.
Fresh brakes, plenty of gas, and
an auto cooling system for the rotors. Have a little dripper on it.
Hook up a dripper.
Yeah. I like it.
So let's say if a friend just started riding, had completed the MSF course, and barring these first bikes everybody gets, if they said, Father Barber, I want a reliable bike that's good on gas, that will get me somewhere that I can work on myself, what would you recommend they get?
What's the budget here?
Oh, let's say under $10,000.
Okay, well that's easy then. So you can get a brand new Indian Scout. I'm not saying get one for $8,000. It's the 60. It's the basic version. But I'm not saying to get one because Indian's been having their problems. Not much with the Scouts, but with their bigger bikes. So yeah, maybe get a Scout 60, or I'm being biased. I'm sorry, or a Rebel. Rebels are really nice bikes. Anything Honda makes will last 500,000 miles or more. Or just some shit box if you want to learn how to work on one. That was what I did and what got me interested in it.
Carson's about to head out, so we'll go ahead and say goodbye to Carson. Carson's question was he saw you when you had COVID on Instagram.
Okay, yeah.
So Carson, nice. Yeah, thanks for coming in. Always good to see friends coming in to watch me do my thing.
Yeah, see you, buddy. Yeah, I mean, it's if you have the budget and the patience for it, you can go buy a brand new bike and you're not going to have to work on it and you're going to enjoy it. Or you can go the opposite route and buy a total shit box if you want to learn how to work on it and ride it. It's whatever you want to do. I like to work on my own stuff, but I also don't ride shit boxes, but I still work on them.
I guess I can close this window.
Close that window.
My wife will get on me for that. All right, so if you could go anywhere on a motorcycle today, you can start from home, you can start from anywhere in the world, where would you go? Time is not an issue, neither is money. Where would you go and ride?
I would mimic my guy Steve, who just returned from a massive trip. He did over 18,000 miles in 4 months. But in 2018 or 19, I can't remember. I think it was 18. He flew to South Korea, rode to the northern part of South Korea, ferried around North Korea. Smart. Rode through Russia, China, all the stands. I don't know all the names. All through Europe and all the way up to Northern Ireland. And then up above the Arctic Circle. I would do that.
That's a lot.
The dude is a machine. So I met him through my Indian dealership. They actually called me. I'm like, what does the Indian dealership want? You're not buying my bike. So I called him back, and he's like, no, hold on, before you hang up. There's this guy that wants to learn how to vlog, and I told him you're pretty good at it. I'm like, I suck at it, but yeah, I can show him a few things. I did a couple of videos on it. But he wanted to learn how to vlog because he just rode from here, Cincinnati, to Ushuaia, South America, which is the southern tip of the world other than Antarctica. And then he just got back like last week. So I would mimic everything that man does.
That's insane.
Yeah. So I got him a plaque. I already gave it to him, but I have pictures of it. So he did 18,265 miles, I think, in 4 months on this last one. And I think he's 68, 69 years old.
Jeez. Yeah, that's my retirement planning there. That's, I've already got some really cool rides set up, but as far as going down to, I have seen probably a handful of people start down in Patagonia and work their way up, and then a handful work their way across Alaska out towards like Iron Horse and Dead Horse,
yeah.
And that is some serious stuff.
Well, that was my ride for next year. So last year was supposed to be my cross country and back. This year I was gonna go to Maine and back, and then next year I was gonna do Alaska and back. But I don't know if it's all going to work out. I don't know if I have the right... People have done it on road glides, but we'll have to see.
Here's a question from Steph. Why doesn't anyone ever have pets in their videos? My cat jumps in my videos all the time, and my dog just comes in and stares at me. So
she's been here the whole time.
She's been a very good dog.
She has. She's laying on her little bed. This is Vay. She's our German Shepherd puppy, and she's about 3 months old.
Yeah, Steph, if you ever watch any of our videos on Goon's channel, on Two Wheel Goon, when we do Weirdos Assembled, everyone I think in there, especially Ranger, has been on there I don't know how many times, because he gets in there a lot. He likes to make himself known. And then my dog will come in and just stare at me until I look at her, and then she leaves. But yeah, all of our animals get in on the action here. At one point or another.
We got 2 cats, 2 dogs, and 3 male children. They're all animals, man.
Oh shit, that's a cutie there.
Mm-hmm. That's my Vay. So it's short for Vagar. If you watch Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon, Vagar was the vicious 180-year-old she-dragon. And this is Vay, short for Vagar.
She does not look that vicious. I'm just going to throw that out there. Maybe she'll be vicious when she grows up.
Oh, no, you're vicious. You're vicious.
All right. So, you know Aaron, right? Nothing at Random.
Yes, I do.
Have you inspired anyone to ride or wrench on their own bikes, Aaron?
I like to think I have, Aaron. I've inspired Aaron 100 times.
Nobody inspires Aaron. When are we going to do this? Yeah, you're going to help me with this.
I inspired Aaron to ride and wrench on his bike. No, I think I try to inspire Stephanie a lot because, I mean, there's days that she's like, well, I don't want to go ride, or there's nobody to ride with. I'm like, just go. Well, I don't know where to go. So just go. It doesn't matter where you go. Just do it. So she's really trying the last month or so, she's been trying to find new random roads. Like if she hasn't SoCal, I recommend avoiding LA. That's old, Stephanie. If she goes out now, she avoids, the regular places, and if there's a random road, she's been turning down and exploring, and she likes to work on her own bike too. So I think I inspire Stephanie. I hope. Other than that, everybody's already been riding and wrenching. I'm late to the game.
Yeah. Stephanie, don't worry. We don't treat our animals badly. If I was to move this brick wall here, there is probably a cat behind it on the bed, just staring at me through the curtain. Cats have 3D vision. I don't know if you know that. They can, like, X-ray vision. She's probably on the other side of this petition, staring at me, waiting for me to get done where she can come sit in my lap.
Yeah, Pan Am Ed. She's only 3 months old and is as big as our red heeler. She's going to be 100 pounds or better. She's going to be massive. So, yeah.
So, if you could tell a new rider one thing that you had to learn the hard way, what would it be?
Don't do this to try to look cool, or don't try to fit in, or basically the same as everybody else's answer, but different. Don't be pressured. Don't try to do this for looks or cool, or the kids are saying clout now. So we'll say that.
Clout.
Just learn at your own pace, and if you don't like it, you don't like it. You can always sell a bike, but don't think you have to go out and join an MC or go out and live this certain lifestyle or ride a certain way. Just do what feels natural to you, and if people are doing something you don't like, you don't have to hang with those guys.
Yeah, those are the guys that'll get you killed.
Yeah, for sure.
Shade Tree was just talking about the video stuff. People are doing videos to try to get likes and stuff, but yeah, just being on the bike is the same thing. People will do things on their bikes because they think that's what's supposed to be cool, and they think they're supposed to be doing it. So go fast, running traffic, using punching car windows, rev bombing. Those are things, and I'll throw this right there. I am not a proponent of rev bombing. As soon as you let go of that clutch and hit the throttle, you've lost every escape path you just had. Because as soon as you let that clutch go, you have no escape now for anything else that's going to happen. So if that guy decides to swerve into you, you already have no traction to your wheel, no attachment to your engine, and you're just going to be along for the ride as he knocks you down. Mm-hmm. So that's my piece on that.
I just had another thought and I lost it. Man.
Sorry, man.
Hold on. It's right here. No, I still can't remember. Damn it.
We'll come back to it. Jack is asking, have you ever had to make your own tool for something, and what's your favorite tool to use and why?
I love this one. I'm so glad he asked.
Thanks, Jack.
I don't think I've ever shown anybody this. Here it is. So, this is little tiny battery clamps with little gator clips on them. I have 2 of them, and you hook these 2 to a battery, of course, and then you hook one to the negative side of a fuel injector, the other one to the positive side of a fuel injector, and then you spray. I have a nozzle somewhere. I have a nozzle for it, but you put a nozzle on the end of a spray can of brake cleaner, and you open that solenoid with the gator clip. When it gets power, that solenoid opens, and at the same time, you spray brake cleaner through it, and it cleans out that injector.
That's ingenious.
Thank you. Where's my nozzle? I have it somewhere. No, I was rebuilding that old Victory, and I was just trying to I rebuilt the whole fuel system. I was just trying to get fuel flow, and I was like, these injectors, surely you can flush them and back flush them, and you can.
Excellent.
I made a video on it.
Thanks, Jack.
There's like 70 views, so nobody knows about it.
So tell us one thing most people may not know about you.
I prepared for this one. I had to go searching in the yard for everything to do this with.
So prepared. Oh, hell yeah.
I can do this.
Yay! Everybody send some clappy emojis. That was excellent.
And I have 2 of them. I'm in a movie. I don't know when it's out yet. They just finished wrapping in December, They wrapped filming in December. But I'm in a movie with Norman Reedus, Tom Hardy, and Austin Butler, who just played Elvis in the new Elvis movie. And it's The Bike Riders.
Now, you were telling me about this. There was a special skill that you had to have to be in this movie.
Yeah, so the interview process was bring your bike and do a slalom course. You have to do a riding test for it. So they set up this slalom course. And I brought I should have brought the Indian because they set these cones like 7 feet apart. But I brought the Victory, and I'm scraping the bags on every turn. And they're like, how long have you been riding? I'm like, a while. They're like, I really want you in this movie. But do you own your own vintage bike? I'm like, no. Well, we can't have you riding in the movie. I'm like, then why'd you have me bring my bike and do a test?
Yeah.
So they called me like a week later, and they're like, so the director thinks you're really skilled and really adept at riding, but do you own your own vintage bike? Because insurance doesn't want us letting you ride our bikes. I'm like, no, because my dad sold his 65 Triumph. That would have been perfect.
Maybe you could talk to Nicole.
I should have called Nicole.
Because Nicole, as we know, owns a vintage motorcycle shop.
Damn it, where were you, Nicole?
Plug.
Hey, she's here now.
She's here.
Hi, Nicole. Oh, I don't know if she's been here the whole time, but because of Nicole's episode, we got to do it. We got to get the puppy. Yeah, bring the puppy back.
Yep. Nicole, this is just for you.
Aww. Are you yelling at me?
She's being cute for Nicole.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Nicole, I watched Nicole's stream earlier. Dylan was teaching us Spanish. It was awesome.
I should have been there. I don't know any other languages. I used to know a little bit of German because I was raised in a German house, but that's all gone now. I'm sorry. I'll put you down. Don't yell at me.
Okay, if you could go buy any bike right now, what would it be? You had to pay for it, but you had the money. You're spending your own money on this.
Can I keep my current bikes?
Sure.
Challenger. Or, no, Pursuit. I rode both of them, and they both feel really good, but the Pursuit has the tour pack and the lowers. I think it would be a Pursuit.
Okay. So, a follow-up question to that. If you could ride any bike just once, knowing you could never afford it, and you could never get on it again, what would it be?
I'm stealing your answer for this. So I've gone back and watched all of these interviews, and every time one of these questions comes up, I'm like, here's my answer. And then the person says it. I'm like, well, I can't say. Yeah.
You can totally say it.
It would be a Boss Hoss because it's so stupid.
Yes.
It's ridiculous. But you got to try it.
You have to. Yeah. If nobody's ever heard my complete answer to that, it's because I would do the Boss Hoss, the twin turbo, the V8. But I would do it because I would only do it once because I know the second time I got on it, I would think I can go faster, and that would be when I would kill myself.
I mean, how do you handle that thing? It's
Cautiously.
It's a drag strip bike, sure. It has 2 gears. It's stupid, man. But I would. That's my choice.
Jack is asking, have you ever caught your beard in a bike while fixing it, or have you caught your beard on fire?
I have a scar from it.
You caught it on fire?
No, hold on. Let me tell the story. Hold on. This is amazing. I'm so glad he asked. You're amazing with these questions. So I am drilling out a bolt on my handlebars of the Victory. And I was doing this for like 2 hours. I'm like, man, I should zip tie this trigger. And I'm so glad I didn't, because about 10 seconds later, my drill slipped and went right here into my beard, pulled my beard, and it was against my neck.
Hey.
So I run in the house. I'm like, Stephanie, I need you. And she said, what? I'm like, get over here. Is this drill bit in my neck? Can I pull it out? Can I undrill this? She's like, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, is this in my neck? Because it felt like it was in my neck, and it hurt really freaking bad. but it was my whole beard was in this drill bit, and the drill bit was in my neck. And she's like, "Are you like you're stupid? Are you playing with me?" I'm like, "Am I bleeding?" She's like, "You're fine. Just pull it out."
I don't mean to laugh, but I'm going to anyway.
So 10 minutes later, is she coming? I hear footsteps. She's gonna say, "Yeah, that's what happened." 10 minutes later, again, I'm like, okay, I know better now. I'm not going to pierce my neck with the drill bit. And this thing was like a 1/2-inch drill bit, too. I'm like, I really should just zip tie this. Because I sat here for like 2 hours putting all the pressure I could on this drill. And it slips again. This time it pierced me. Right there.
All right, man scar.
Yeah. I think I still have the drill bit. There's this big guy.
Is there any meaty flesh on it?
No, because I kept drilling with it. So
it doesn't count. Doesn't count.
I know. But there's my story.
That's a good story.
I had to help him get the drill out of his beard. That's true.
So Steph is asking, if you could ride with one person, dead or alive, who would it be?
You, Stephanie.
Aw. There you go.
Or that's the alive person. Here's my dead person. This is the reason I bought the Indians. My buddy Gus. I grew up with this guy. There he is.
Oh.
And he died. So we started riding together. After we reconnected after all these years. And he had an Indian Scout. Let me ride it. And we're like, this is the bike I'm buying. Because I was on my Suzuki. And about a month after I bought the Indian, he passed. So if I could ride with the Gus again, that would be great. He's in one of my very first YouTube videos. He's leading the pack. It wasn't a vlog or anything, but we were just riding from Rabbit Hash to Hooters, and he was leading us on his Indian, and I was on my Indian, and then he died about a month later. So if I could have Gus back, that'd be cool.
At least you got him on YouTube. He'll live on forever.
That's true.
That's actually excellent. So my last question for you, what is your toxic trait?
Sorry, my son started calling me and I missed what you said.
What is your toxic trait?
Oh, shit. I've been thinking about this one for like 2 weeks, and I'm like, I don't have an answer for it. I guess my toxic trait is that I don't have an answer for this because it's really hard to see your flaws, you know? And I guess I just put this question to the side, so let me...
Okay. You don't have to have a question. You don't have to have an answer to it. It's fine.
No, I need to. You need to be able to recognize flaws.
Well, while you think about it, what is your question for me?
Okay. Wait. So as a fellow bald man, why do you shave your head? Can you grow hair naturally?
I can.
And how is your pattern?
So here's what happened. Here's what it was. So I got deployed to Kuwait running convoys into Iraq in 05 and 06. And the dust there was so thin, it was like clay. And when it stuck to you, if you were sweating, it would actually turn into like a paste, almost like a clay paste. And then it would look like you were covered in cornflakes on your neck, your head, everything. So your uniform kept most of it off. You could wash it off your hands. But when it stuck to your hair, you almost started having like, Ken doll hair, where it would like mat down and it was like covered like somebody had packed you with clay. So we started cutting our hair real short, just where it'd make it easier to wrench off. Every couple hours, you just stand upside down and try to wrench the shit off of our hair. Then when I got back, I was over there for almost a year. When I came back, hair didn't feel right, so I just kept shaving it. And I've shaved it since then. So I've been shaving it now for going on, 18 years. So, and now hair just doesn't feel right on my head.
I like it. Hold on. I need to type something in here.
Bleak says he loves the bald guy content.
My son has called me every 4 seconds and I've ignored it. Because he's been trying to text me and like, can I stay for dinner? So Stephanie, please call Jeff and tell him to stop calling me and see what he wants.
Bleak says your toxic trait is seeking attention from PBR.
No, I saw that.
I don't think that's a toxic trait.
Now he's trying to FaceTime me. This is going to piss me off.
Kids.
I know. He's up at his friend's house, 3 houses down. Come to the house. Anyway,
Kids.
my toxic trait is my patience. I don't have a lot of patience, especially for children, and then like training people. I'll say anger because of no patience. Let's say that.
Okay.
Or toxic masculinity, because I'm really bad about it with my kids. But if they're, I know I'm supposed to be nice and sweet and huggy and like, oh, I'm so sorry, but no, man the fuck up, man. Man up. Because anytime they get hurt or they stub their toe or they're crying or they don't like the answer that I give them, if I don't like their response, it's man up, dude.
Yeah.
Maybe that could be.
So on that step, okay, do I think toxic masculinity is a thing? Maybe, but I don't think it's what people think it is.
It's not, but that's the term that goes around these days.
Yeah, I think there's
So
what people
I'll say my.
Go ahead.
So I'll say my toxic trait is expecting men to be men, I guess, because that is a huge thing for me, especially with my children growing up on a farm. All I did was work from the time I was 5 until I graduated high school and started working myself. And now seeing my kids grow up and all they want to do is on their phones and play video games, or if I ask them to do a simple chore, it's a shit show. So I don't know. I expect too much out of people sometimes.
I don't think that's toxic masculinity. I think that's just being a parent. I think that
could be
expecting.
I mean, it's not just my kids. It's men across the board. We'll say that.
Yeah, you have responsibilities and you should do those things.
Yes.
I saw a thing one day. So someone said toxic masculinity is when a guy will open a door for a girl, or when a guy insists on protecting a girl, or when a guy will step in when a girl is perfectly capable of taking care of herself and does something for her instead. My answer to that is, can girls take care of themselves? Some of them, absolutely.
Have you met mine?
But
have you seen mine?
Yeah, me and Nicole were actually talking about this the other day. I think there's
Nicole's another good. If there's a brawl with Nicole or Stephanie, I think if your apocalypse team needs to be Nicole and Stephanie, because they will fuck some people up. I'm scared. I mean, if there's a brawl and Stephanie's involved, you got this. You're good.
But I would definitely be there to help her out, though, because I think.
Oh, I would definitely be on standby. But
even though I think Nicole is a perfect example. Nicole is absolutely capable of taking care of herself.
Mm-hmm.
But I am probably more capable of taking care of something to keep Nicole's hands clean. Because like Nicole says, she's a business owner. She doesn't need to kind of get herself clogged up in some stuff.
Right. And I do that a lot too. I mean, I do a lot for Stephanie, but every time I do something, it's, I could have done that. Or why are you doing this for me? Stop doing things for me. I'm like, I don't know. It's natural. This is what I do. I'm a caretaker.
Yeah.
Well, stop, because I want to learn how to do it. I'm like, well, come and learn how to do it. I don't want to right now.
Yeah. Best answer I've ever heard to that is like for the door opening thing. It's not that I don't open the door for you. I open the door for you because, one, I want to treat you like a lady. But two, I want to be a gentleman. Whether you wanted to be treated like a lady or not, because I open doors for guys too, and I'm more than capable of it. But it's because I'm a gentleman, not necessarily just because you're a lady. It's because I want to be a better person.
It's because I wouldn't want the door to slam in my face either.
Yeah.
There's a big muscly dude. Please hold the door for me because I'm coming.
Yeah, and there's just some things I'm capable of doing, and I want to do them because I am capable.
Yeah, and that's what I try to explain to her all the time. She's like, no, stop doing it. I'm like, well, I'm already doing it. There's no harm in doing it.
And you can wrestle me for it.
Yeah, let's wrestle.
Let's go for it.
Pay off that Indian.
All right, we're pulling to our end. Is there any questions you guys have in the audience before we close? Jack wants to know what your favorite beer is. I know this one. But tell us anyway.
Jack, do you have a guess? Where's that question at? How far was it? What's your favorite beer? All is good, Father. Yeah, it is. Make me a sandwich. Bad. Okay. Oh, there, that way. PBR, of course.
Yeah, Jack, if you start following
Didn't you
him
see
on
the thumbnail?
Instagram,
Haven't you seen the thumbnail?
to make that fit, I did have to cut part of that picture out. But
You got the best parts.
you are probably one of the few people who have actually written a company and said, I want to be included in your lifestyle stuff, and they've answered you back.
Okay, and they gave me free stuff.
And they gave you free stuff.
They sent me a hat. They sent me stickers. They sent me a letter, and they said, if you post all month long, we're best friends. We're best friends. Have a good night. See you, Bill.
Thanks, Bill.
There was one that I wanted to tell us about that shirt where we can get this rainy drip. So my kids say drip all the time. I don't know what it means, but I give them like one of these. I don't know what the kids say anymore. How to grow a perfect beard like the father. I don't know. I just kind of grew it. Flinch asked me the other day. He said, man, I'm not trying to be like weird or anything, but do you do anything to your beard? Like, what do you put in it? Because I want to grow my beard. I'm like, I blow dry it. It's not weird. It's beard care. I don't know. I couldn't grow, so I couldn't connect until I was like 28. And then I had a weird bald patch right here until I was like 30.
From the drill? That's good.
No, that's over here. I don't know. It's genetics, I guess.
So,
But yeah, I just blow dry it and comb it, and you got a good beard.
to answer Billy's question, so what happened was I ordered a bunch of stickers, and they gave me a special offer to make some T-shirts. And I said, everybody likes T-shirts. I'll get some T-shirts made. So they made me 10 T-shirts, and it actually made me 20. So I made 10 larges, 10 extra larges, and I brought them to the next camp out I went to and gave them all away. So I obviously saved some for all the people up in Ohio because I gave one to you and I gave one to Nicole. And I did not know I was meeting Aaron. Sorry, Aaron, I would have saved you one too.
Nobody ever expected. He's like the Spanish Inquisition. Just hold on. The PBR's talking now. He's like the Spanish Inquisition. You don't expect it.
And all of a sudden, there he is.
No, me and Stephanie came up and we were going to lunch, and there's Aaron. He's like, where are we getting lunch at? I'm like, oh, shit, where did you come from?
That sounds more like herpes. You're ready to go on with your life and do cool things, and all of a sudden, boom, there it is.
Is it showing?
All right, we are... All right, Colleen, I'll see what I can do about getting some more shirts. I was playing with opening a market, but now that I have an LLC, I might actually do it. So I might actually make some shirts.
My child just walked out and smacked me with a sandal, so I don't know what that. I think that was a message from Stephanie. I don't know what this means.
That was an attention grab.
Ow!
Your damn sandwich.
You make a sandwich.
Hey, you know what? Women belong in the kitchen, but so do
She's
men.
in the kitchen right now.
But so
to
do
get
men.
through that door, you got to go through the kitchen.
Yeah, but men do too, because that's where the food is. Everybody belongs in the kitchen. So
I'm
let's all-
cooking steaks.
So
too.
let's all
Yeah,
go
I
to the
love
kitchen.
cooking.
Make me a sandwich.
Y'all get in the damn house.
All right, we're going to put a cap on this. Everybody, thanks for coming. Once more, you'll go ahead and go throw down your Instagram and your YouTube channels where everybody can find them.
Wait 1 second. What time is it? My clocks aren't showing.
It is 6 o'clock my time, 7 o'clock your time.
In 30 minutes, I have I'm just going to plug this real quick. I'm doing a scavenger hunt all year, and if you want to be a part of that, in 30 minutes, I do my first scavenger hunt item. I'm hiding things all over, let's say, the Midwest. From north to south, I'm hiding stuff and making videos if you want to come find it. So in 30 minutes, the first one is coming on my channel.
All
and
right.
I also plug my new boots, and you know what my new boots are.
Okay, there is one more question I was going to ask you, and I forgot to add it to this one. But what is your one favorite thing that whenever you take a ride or a camp out, what will you not leave the house without?
Well, my motorcycle. No, so this stays in my saddlebag.
Oh, nice.
So for campouts, I put that in my spot.
Very nice.
And then for when I'm not any regular ride, but for like bike night, I'll prop it up against my back wheel. But for any regular ride, it's my toolkit, my tire kit, and I have one other thing in there. Toolkit and tire kit.
I guess that's a good. I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. This has been another, I think, good night of Rainy Nights. Another good episode. Tomorrow night.
Randall says any ammo.
Ammo.
That's actually. Hold on. Randall says any ammo. Hold on. Let me get my saddlebag. That one.
That's all you need. That's a Gerber.
That's all you need. That is it.
That's a Gerber. If I don't miss my my blade backs.
That's right.
All right, guys. Where was I? I forgot myself.
You're just saying goodbye and that you love me.
Yeah, love you. All right, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, and then come back tomorrow night because I will have Colleen and Jack, aka what was I calling them? Bueller McDiddles tomorrow night.
I'll be there.
Yeah, the chimera known as Bueller McDiddles will be tomorrow night. All right, guys. Thanks for coming, and I will see you guys soon.